again, YouTube, friends, subscribers, new folks, everybody. Welcome to The Light. Thank you for tuning in to another news briefing. We're going to be getting into some cannabis stock news, but today is actually going to be more of a quick lightning round. I'm going to be popping off here and really just giving you all a lightning round of a lot of the stocks and companies that I think are particularly successful or that have a lot of potential to have success in this new iteration of the legal cannabis industry, as we see a lot going on. I also want to talk about something. As I had predicted about a month ago, the FDA is being pushed harder and harder to review the scheduling of industrial hemp and to fully regulate CBD in hemp to make a decision. We've got quite the loud support for hemp and CBD. As far as popular support goes, it's a majority. But we've even got senators, congressmen, who are going after the FDA and saying, make a decision now, because it's been too long. The prohibition has lasted far too long, and without proper regulation, it's going to be like the Wild West with this hemp and CBD industry. And we've got some really amazing companies who are putting in the work to bring quality products out to the consumers. So I think it's incredibly important that effective regulation and oversight is established, and we need to know what's going on. We need to know the rules. So this is very important, and this is going to happen. I had predicted that they might make a decision sometime around July 4th. Of course, they're very slow at the FDA. And last week we saw this article, even 2 weeks ago I think it came out, this article talking about how CBD may cause liver damage. And this created a huge scare. It was pushed through mainstream media, especially the big televised news corporations, and all over the place. Really, I saw almost any publication that publishes anything about cannabis publishing that article and talking about that study. But now we're seeing that this was only one study. It's just as I had spoke about in a lot of ways what happened with Harry Anslinger almost 100 years ago in his propaganda campaign. One study which has plenty of its own flaws and which really doesn't prove anything concrete was taken and blown way out of proportion by the big media corporations to scare people into thinking that CBD, one of the most curative compounds in cannabis and in plant medicine, is actually dangerous. And maybe it does cause liver damage in some dosage or in some form of consumption, but taking one study which also has its own flaws and has been debunked by a number of critics and publishing it that way is really harmful to the movement. And so we're going to see a decision happening soon. I'm predicting this now. The decision is coming, I hope by the end of the month, and I'm hoping that we at least see a nationwide decision on hemp and CBD, because whether or not the federal government makes a decision, the states are making decisions, and the hemp is being grown, the processing facilities are kicking online, and the revolution is happening right now. We need a federal decision. Now, I want to get to the lightning roundup, because these are the companies that I think are going to be more successful in the future. And I say this mostly based on their intellectual property and based on their history. I'd like to do a feature of each company, especially the ones that I haven't featured already, but doing more of a this is the story kind of video, telling you how they were founded, created, and what their mission is. Now, the first stock that I want to talk about is Hemp Inc. Of course, I have been talking about Hemp Inc. This is a stock that I've been watching for a while. I'm long Hemp Inc. And it's a great company with an amazing CEO, Bruce Perlone, a very cool guy who's been leading this industrial hemp revolution. Now, there's been more news out of Hemp Inc. I know you all enjoyed the last video, and that was very jam-packed with information, but in the last week since publishing that, I've gotten more news. They have just unveiled their new drying and curing technology, which allows them to cure CBD bud in half the time. Now, curing the product is incredibly important, and if you don't do it right, then you lose a lot of the potency and effectiveness of the product. Now, they have created this proprietary technology that allows them to cure CBD in 3 rather than 7 days. It's also mobile, which is going to allow them to move it from harvest to harvest, as they can start it in Oregon or North Carolina and then move this technology across the country to each harvest to cure their product at a much more rapid rate, and then move it to market for extraction and to the consumer much more quickly. This is incredibly impressive. And we also see Hemp Inc. is reporting that they have outstandingly completed a vertical integration with their farming and processing facilities in North Carolina. So now they've got a huge allotment of acreage there, vertically integrated with processing. So that's amazing. And that intellectual property of the cure technology is going to add a lot of value to Hemp Inc. and their mission. Now, number 2 company that I want to talk about is Charlotte's Web. This is a company based out of Colorado. I've talked about them a little bit, but they're a CBD company, and they're all about CBD. They've been at it for a long time, and they've got some great intellectual property with a extraction technology, allowing them to actually grow their proprietary cannabis strain, not a hemp strain. It's called Charlotte's Web, and to extract only pure CBD, even from cannabis with THC in it. So this proprietary technology gives them a huge advantage in the CBD oils because they can extract using these very resinous and potent cannabis plants and cannabis cultivation techniques that are usually outside of the purview of what we would consider industrial hemp. And they have created a very, very high quality product. This company's also got a very incredible story and a holistic mission. They've been around for a long time to provide medicine in the form of CBD oil to people with chronic illnesses and cancer. They're an incredible company that's really starting to advance now. Here's an article about how Charlotte's Web is spinning so very quickly on Seeking Alpha. So go check that article out. Now, also, a company that I want to talk about is Aurora Cannabis. Now, Aurora Cannabis is, of course, a huge producer, but we're looking at their charts here. They've taken a nice dip, but I see them going to new highs before the end of the year. And I'm looking at this dip as a buying opportunity. And they have a huge lineup of intellectual property, patented products, and really pharmaceutical grade medicinal cannabis products, some of which are in testing right now. But this intellectual property adds value to their company. And as this cannabis industry evolves to the next iteration, which I believe is a huge pivot toward the medicinal and health benefits of cannabis, Aurora Cannabis should be quite successful, especially with their acquisitions. Now, we're also looking at the chart here, dipping, taking quite a dip here. We could look for further pullback, but I'm looking at this dip as a buying opportunity. Now, another company that's taken a bit of a dip despite a huge run-up this year is Zynerba Pharmaceuticals. I've been watching this company throughout 2018, 2019 because of their intellectual property with their CBD gel. Now, their trials on Zygel are proving quite successful, and the FDA has fast-tracked this medicine. We saw GW Pharmaceuticals take a huge rally upward with their Epiliodex medicine coming out and the FDA approval, but I think Zynerba is going to compete and actually beat GW Pharmaceuticals, and that's why I'm watching them. Their technology, both as far as intellectual property and just their choice of the method of ingestion, is superior, and this company is making a very effective medicine to treat Fragile X syndrome, autism, cerebral palsy, and other chronic ailments. So it's a very good company that I've also featured on this channel, and one that I'm watching. It's taken a huge run up, but I know that it can go much higher, and we're just waiting to see the trials finalized and sales begin to get some more financial data. But again, they've taken a bit of a dip. We could look for further pullback for a buying opportunity on Zynerba Pharmaceuticals. But folks, those are the stocks that I'm watching right now. Those are the hot stocks. That's my lightning roundup, as well as some news for the day. I hope you appreciated it. Go watch those stocks. Again, I want to stress that this isn't financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but I do want to help educate you and tell you what's going on in the industrial hemp industry. And I love highlighting these interesting companies and companies that I think are going to be successful. You folks who are out there investing, happy investing to you. Best of luck. Always do your own research, but please do check out these companies and read these articles that I have down in the relevant links, because they're very interesting. Some of them also provide some cool intel for you as investors or just as news junkies in general. Anyways, folks, I hope that you liked the video. Please do leave me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, check out Green Matter. That's the music plug right now. She is a incredible Denver-based DJ. She'll be playing a huge show at the club Your Mom's House on August 21st. So check that out if you're in town, and please do follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and SoundCloud. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to this installment of The Light. I can't wait to see you in the next video, and until then, much love.
I'll show you fucking